Lower Meherabad ki jai. Can you hear me okay? All right, very good. What a wonderful day for this auspicious occasion of the inauguration of this most extraordinary memorial tower. Today's inauguration is the fulfillment of what Meher Baba himself initiated 75 years ago to this day. At this place, designated and dedicated this place 75 years ago today. Jai Baba. We have a wonderful program planned. Please turn off your cell phones first. All right. And let us begin by having Shridar and Ted come up, and they will garland beloved Baba's photo. And then what we will do is all stand and say the beloved God prayer together. Jai Baba, please take a seat. Johan, people are asking if there could be a speaker in the back. There can't be a speaker back there now.
Why don't we just turn one of these around?
Yeah, okay, let's see what we can do. We're in the moment. See what we can do. Shridar, don't disappear. You're number one, come up. Shridar Kalkar will give us a nice welcome talk as the chairman of the Avatar Meherabad Perpetual Public Charitable Trust and as our dear old friend and Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Very happy to welcome you all.
Mike.
Jai Baba. Yes. Can you hear me? Yes. Jai Baba. So I'm very happy to welcome you all to this formal opening function of Memorial Tower. As Devi said, Lord Baba laid the foundation of this tower on this day 75 years back. आज से 75 साल पहले बाबा ने यहाँ पे मेमोरियल टावर का फाउंडेशन रखा था, नींव रखी थी मासा जी और चांदी के ग्रेव पे, और आज उसका इनॉग्रेशन हो रहा है और मैं आपको सबका यहाँ स्वागत करता हूँ। On 23rd December 1944, Lord Baba laid the foundation of the Memorial Tower, which was to be constructed in memory of his departed lovers. ये जो टावर है तो बाबा ने उनके जो प्रेमी जिनकी मेमोरी में ये टावर बनाने का था, उसके लिए ये प्रोग्राम लिया था फाउंडेशन का। A 2 feet deep pit was dug near Masaji's grave, and in that grave, Masaji, Baba's maternal uncle, he died a couple of days before this, on the 20th December 1944, and his grave was dug here. And next to that, Baba had another pit dug in which Chandi, who had earlier died in Kashmir, his bedroll was kept. And Baba strewed rose flowers on that. इसके बाद Adi Senior read out Baba's message on the occasion of the foundation laying ceremony for what was to be a memorial tower to all Baba's departed disciples. This message is inscribed on a marble plaque at this site. यहाँ पे वो message जो यहाँ रखा गया है और ये प्रोग्राम में भी उसको हिंदी और इंग्लिश में पढ़ा जाएगा. This message is inscribed on marble plaque in this site. After the reading of the message, Adi read out the names of the departed lovers which Baba had listed a few days before. Sitting down in a chair, Baba placed one rose after another in the foundation as each name was called. It looked as if Baba were indicating that they all merge in his infinite ocean of divinity. Placing a flower in the foundation of each one, Baba was showing that every lover of his will merge in that ocean someday. After the names were read, Baba scooped the flowers that were left in the basket and put them in the pit, saying that these are for the lovers who are to come hereafter. So, the memorial tower में अगर हमारा नाम भी नहीं है, but we are all, Baba remembers all there, so those his lovers will be all remembered by this memorial tower. और ये बाबा ने पहले जो लिस्ट बनाई थी, about 140 names were there in that list. Later on, Baba went on adding several names, and today on this tower there were 353 names are inscribed as dictated by beloved Baba. Some of you may find name of some of your ancestors here, probably, quite possible. So today, after 75 years, this tower is being formally inaugurated. In the message delivered on the occasion of the foundation laying ceremony, Lord Baba stated that the memory of the departed lovers was not being perpetuated because they desired fame or name. बाबा ने बोला ये जो इनका नाम लिखा है वो कभी अपने नाम यहाँ कभी इच्छा नहीं करते थे, लेकिन बाबा ने स्वयं उनके रिमेम्बर्स में ये काम किया है. Because it's an example to others to life of sacrifice based on love. हमको जिंदगी कैसी जीना चाहिए इसका एग्जाम्पल है कि कोई भी हम अपेक्षा नहीं रखनी चाहिए. वो ये प्यार बाबा के सब प्रति हमारा होता है, वो कोई भी अपेक्षा नहीं उसमें चाहिए, बिना अपेक्षा प्यार होना चाहिए बाबा के लिए. All those whose names are on the memorial tower led a life of sacrifice based on their immense and unshakable love for the avatar. In the message, Baba also said the tower was in memory of men belonging to different religions and represents the fundamental unity of all the great world religions. It has been emphasized by placing on the tower the emblems of all the important religions of the world. In today's stripe-torn world, divided on the basis of race, religion, caste, etc., Lord Baba's message of fundamental unity is very important. ये जो बाबा ने मैसेज में ये भी कहा था कि ये जो जिनके नाम यहाँ पे लिखे गए हैं वो अलग अलग धर्म और जाति के लोग थे, और इसमें बाबा ने एक जो मूल तत्व है सभी धर्मों का एक ही तत्व है. सब धर्म कुछ अलग नहीं बोलते हैं, सब धर्म एक ही बोलते हैं, ईश्वर के प्रति प्रेम करना. और वही बाबा ने बोला है कि इन लोगों ने जैसा ईश्वर से प्रेम किया था उसके लिए ये टावर बनाया गया है. पर आज हम देखते हैं आज का माहौल ऐसा है दुनिया में कि यहाँ वहाँ दंगे फसाद होते हैं, सब ये बेस्ड ऑन धर्म, जाति, पंथ, इसके नाम पे हम करते हैं. और बाबा ने ऐसा बोला है कि बाबा सेड आई डू नॉट बिलोंग टू एनी रिलीजन, ऑल रिलीजन बिलोंग टू मी. बाबा ने बोला है सब धर्म जो है वे मेरे में शामिल हो गए हैं. तो यही जानना चाहिए. और मेमोरियल टावर ऑल्सो कैरी द सिम्बॉल्स ऑफ ऑल द इम्पॉर्टेंट वर्ल्ड रिलीजन्स. सो दिस यूनिटी ऑफ ऑल रिलीजन्स is being depicted here in this tower. Architect Ted Judson is the moving force behind this project. He is here. tell you how we struggled from the very beginning, from the conception to completion, I would say, to complete this tower. I express my deep appreciation for the labor of love he has put in designing and constructing this beautiful tower. There are also several others who have helped in some way or the other for executing this project. I express my appreciation for all those involved in this project. There is one divine joke in all this. All the names inscribed include the names of Colonel Irani also, who was severe critic of beloved Baba. He did not leave a single opportunity to defame Baba. He used to write so many false, disgraceful articles about Baba. And Mandli would always say, Baba, should we reply to criticism? And Baba said, don't do that. He is doing my work. He is spreading my name. Even when Baba established Regional Center in Bangalore 1939, Colonel Irani went there and with a help of local lawyer, put some article in the local paper criticizing beloved Baba, and he wanted the Mysore government to withdraw their offer of giving land to Baba. Of course, it did not succeed. Even Baba went Navsari, he created trouble there with the help of many college students also. So he did not leave a single opportunity to defame or criticize Baba. And Baba said, for doing this, he remembers me constantly. And that is what Baba wants us to do. A constant remembrance. And for that constant remembrance, Baba has put his name on this memorial tower. This is, I would say, a divine joke, I would say. So this is what beloved Baba was like. Even to his critics also, he says, even though you criticize me, while doing that, you remember me. That's very important. And today, after 75 years, this beautiful tower has been completed. It will be open to pilgrims who visit Meherabad hereafter. And let this tower be an inspiration to all of us how we should lead our life. The life of sacrifice based on love, nothing else. कुछ हम बाबा के प्रति अपेक्षा नहीं करना चाहिए. बाबा जो अपना देना है दे देंगे, पर बाबा के प्रति अपना जो प्यार है वो हमेशा दृढ़ रहना चाहिए बाबा को. बाबा सेड मेक मी कांस्टेंट कंपेनियन. तो वही चाहिए हमको कि हम बाबा की हर हमेशा याद करें और ये टावर हमको इस इंस्पिरेशन दे वो याद करने के लिए. जय बाबा.
Ted, and all of you who have contributed to this project. The result is really absolutely wonderful. We believe that Baba made this all possible on this day, 75 years ago, on this site. How did this come to be? The story begins with the deaths of two of Baba's closest old disciples, who loved and served him faithfully to the end. The first was from Dada Chanji. We know him as Chanji. He was Baba's first secretary and also recorded much of the history of those early years in his diaries. When Baba was in Kashmir in 1929 with a few of the Mandali, he remarked to Chanji that his grave would be there in Kashmir. This was not taken too seriously at the time, and Chanji would occasionally comment that it would be nice to die in Kashmir since it was so lovely there. Then while Chanji was back in Kashmir with Baba in 1944, he died of typhoid, and his body was buried in the cemetery in Shridar. In December of 1944, Baba wanted Mera's birthday to be celebrated somewhat openly again, as it was for the first time 2 years before. And so preparations were being made to observe her birthday here at Meherabad. The Mandali began planning for cooking meals and erecting a tent and pandal for the occasion. Invitations had been sent to devotees to participate in the event, and they were informed that their lodging and boarding would be provided. Rustam Ji Irani, known as Baba's Masaji, was one of Baba's earliest disciples. He was the husband of Shirin Mai's sister Pila. They were the parents of Pendu and Naja. All of them were deeply devoted to Baba. One of Masaji's duties in the ashram was to cook, especially for these bigger events. So he was overseeing the cooking for Mera's birthday celebration. He had to hire utensils and vessels, and for that he went to Pune. Masaji returned to Meherabad on the 17th of December with a truckload of supplies, but traveling in the open truck had affected his health in the wintertime. After having the truck unloaded in front of Pendu, telling him to store the things inside the kitchen, Masaji went and lay down on his cot. And Vishnu's mother, Kakubai, came to discuss the cooking details with him, but no one realized he was seriously ill. After lunch the next day, Masaji went to his room in the old bungalow there and was soon found dead. He was 77 years old. Baba was informed, and when he arrived from Pimplegaon, ordered a grave to be dug here between the road and the railway tracks. A coffin was brought and Masaji's body was placed in it. Baba touched the body before the lid was nailed shut, and then the Mandali and Baba carried that coffin on their shoulders from the old bungalow to this site here. Before lowering the coffin into the ground, Baba again touched it and was the first to toss earth over it. Then each of the Mandali threw in a handful of earth, and Baba placed flowers over the grave before the pit was filled. That same afternoon, two of Baba's closest disciples, Ainavaz and Narimandada Chanji, arrived from Bombay along with their wedding party. The next day, Baba came to Ahmednagar to give darshan to that large group. And on the 21st of December, according to Baba's wish, Ainavaz and Nariman were married in the Zoroastrian fire temple in Ahmednagar. After Masaji had died, Baba dictated that list of men and women who had been closely connected with him that had passed on. Baba gave these names to Adi Sr., telling him to decide upon the order himself. Baba called his local lovers and those who had come to attend the Dada Chanji wedding to Meherabad on the 23rd. He sat in a chair there at the head of Masaji's grave, where by his order that pit of 2 or 3 feet deep had been dug just next to it. Chanji's bedroll had been brought from the Mandali's quarters and had been rolled out in the shallow pit. Adi Sr. began by reading out the message Baba had dictated for this occasion, the foundation laying ceremony for what was to be a memorial tower to all Baba's departed disciples, which Suzy Imura will now read.
Meher Baba's message at the foundation ceremony of the Memorial Tower. You are today witnessing a solemn occasion of supreme importance. While the world is feverishly occupied with the vanishing things of the moment, there are always those who gain a true perspective of life through the grace of the Master. And these lucky few are ever willing to make their whole lives an ever renewed and ceaseless dedication to the universal and ageless truth of the imperishable and undivided life divine. The spiritual grandeur of those who set aside all thought of the self and make their lives an offering to the divine and imperative cause of the Master is in itself ineffable. While the beauty of such lives surpasses all description, the memorial tower to be created here is something much more than an ornament of crowning glory for those souls themselves. A visible memorial, like a tower, can itself become a medium for inspiring the generations to come. The memorial tower of my departed devotees, which will be erected on this spot, will be a reservoir of inspiration and power for posterity. Their memory is not being perpetuated for their sake. They had absolutely no desire for name or fame. Their memory is being perpetuated because it will be an example for those who are living as well as for those who are to come. A life of sacrifice based on love is never lost. It is not only beautiful and fruitful in itself, but also in the creative inspiration which it leaves behind. The foundation of the tower is being laid on the tomb of my dearest Masaji and on the bedding of one of my beloved disciples, F.H. Dadachanji, whose selfless service to my cause was wholehearted in its devotion and signal in its attainments. There are also others like Bua Sahib and Munshi Sahib who served my cause with unimpeachable integrity of character before dropping their physical bodies. For each one of them, a separate flower is placed in the foundation of the tower, and the names of all of them will be inscribed on the Tower of Glory, which will be erected on this foundation. The symbolic representation of these departed souls through flowers dispenses with the separative burial or cremation ceremonials which are prevalent in different societies. And the putting of all these flowers in the same foundation is intended to emphasize the truth that though the bodies of these devotees were different, they were all parts of one eternal and indivisible soul. The memorial tower has completely dispensed with the physical bodies of departed souls, for the physical body is only the illusory shadow of the soul. Those devotees whose names are likely to be inscribed on this tower after their demise will have free choice in respect to the disposal of their bodies. Their bodies may be buried or cremated or disposed of on the Tower of Silence, according to the rites of their respective religions or according to any desire expressed by them during their lifetimes. They all shall be represented on the memorial tower by their names. The tower will be in memory of men, people, belonging to different religions, and will, in fact, represent the fundamental unity of all the great world religions. All the great world religions have in their own ways revealed the same one truth, which I bring anew. And this unity of all religions will be clearly emphasized by placing on the tower the emblems of all the important world religions. The tower shall thus be a silent proclamation of the unity of all religions. The unshakable peace of life in eternity and the unfading glory of conscious divinity shall crown the souls which are represented by this memorial tower. They are eternally mine. I bless them all.
As Baba sat there, he held a large platter of rose petals on his lap, and according to his wish, Adi began to read out the names of the departed ones. And as each name was read, Baba sprinkled a few of those rose petals into the pit as he lovingly remembered each one. Though the list of names was completed, most of the rose petals still remained on the platter, which made some curious. After a few seconds, Baba smiled and spelled out on the board, "And these are for all those who will come in the future." Then he stood and he poured the remaining petals into that pit. Early the next morning, December 24th, another unexpected tragedy happened. After giving birth to a son, who would be named Dara, Baba's brother Adi Jr.'s wife of only 10 months was in critical condition. Word was sent to Baba, and he came to Gulu's bedside at Saroshan Vilu's home in Ahmednagar around 5 a.m. Before leaving her, Baba gently placed his hand on her head and then closed her eyes. And soon after Baba left, Gulu passed away. So within a day of dedicating the site, the question arose: will Baba update his list of the dearly departed? Gulu became the first candidate for that new list, and yes, you can find her name here on this tower. A few hundred people were staying at Meherabad to attend the second big birthday for Mera. But Baba himself did not inform people of Gulu's death. And the news was definitely to be kept from Mera. In fact, everyone was told to maintain a cheerful disposition. As Gulu's funeral took place that evening in Ahmednagar, a Qawwali program was held here at Lower Meherabad. Mera and the rest of the women from the hill attended that program, hearing the music from behind a screen, which was a very rare occurrence in those years. Meher Baba was again living the life, a perfect example of knowing detachment. Religious and cultural traditions had no place in the spiritual life with him. The music and celebration of Mera's birthday went on for 2 more days, with everyone enjoying Baba's presence. This had been one of the most eventful weeks in the life of Baba and his lovers. They had experienced a dynamic concentration of life with all its ups and downs, being guided all the while by their perfect master of equanimity. After Mera's birthday, Baba returned to Meherazad to do 3 weeks of seclusion with the Must Ali Shah. His name is also included here, with a few other favorite God-intoxicated persons, ranging from the beginner Must, 12 coats, to the God-realized Mazruk Chacha. It is natural to be curious about how persons were selected to be included on the list of names for this memorial tower. The simple answer is, as Meheru put it, Baba gave a name and it was put on the list. No questions asked. Before the new life in 1949, after settling the issue of which of the Mandali would eventually be interred in the men's cemetery at Meherabad, Baba ordered the names of 6 men not included in the cemetery schedule to be added to the list of the departed ones upon their death. In December of 1951, additional names were added to the original list to total 124, which were read out aloud during a ceremony for Baba's Manonash work at Meherazad on the 24th of that month. That afternoon, Baba remembered 14 more people and added their names to the list. More names were added in June of 1953, and in April of 1955, 3 more men were added to the list whose names were to be included upon their death, including Amrit's father. In November of 1967, Baba added 17 more names to the greater list, and by June of 1968, a final expanded list was completed, which Baba asked Erich to read out to him twice that month during that last great seclusion at Meherazad. The only exception to the 350 names given by Baba are the names of 3 that were included by a trust resolution in 2001. They are Baba's brothers Jal and Behram, and Behram's wife Pareen, all of whom survived Baba. Jal and Behram's choice was to follow their parents and have their bodies interred in the Zoroastrian Tower of Silence in Pune, which is why you don't find them in the men's cemetery here. Besides the close disciples whose graves can be found at Meherabad, the names inscribed on this memorial tower should not be considered a comprehensive list of all those who loved and served Avatar Meher Baba during his lifetime. There are many who passed away after Baba dropped his body who are not included here, as well as a few from his time who are still with us. This memorial tower is Avatar Meher Baba's token of appreciation to all those past, present, and future who loved him or served his cause of truth.
What an amazing week that was in 1944. And now I would like us all to welcome the architect, designer, and production and construction coordinator of this beautiful memorial tower, Baba's own instrument, Ted Judson.
Jai Baba.
This is a great day for me and all of us, I think. When I first arrived at Meherabad in 1976, Erich told me not to forget to design the memorial tower because it was the one project that Baba specifically ordered to be built. Years went by. We built the Pilgrim Center, Mayor Hospital, the Mayor School, the hostels, staff quarters, hundreds of toilets for Amartithi. And Erich would remind me, Ted, don't forget the tower. So over the years, I drew many sketches and made many simple models. Erich had suggested that Baba's message be placed here. And he also said that he liked prisms and he liked the fact that they reflect the colors of Baba's flag. Rano suggested a cenotaph and drew a small spire. Erich, Mani, and Rano all felt that the tower should not be so big as to compete with the Samadhi. The last model that I showed to Mani before she went to Baba, she said I was on the right track. So more time passed. The archive building, the MPR were complete. I was getting old and knew the time was running out. I still couldn't somehow find the correct shape that I've been struggling with all this many years. And I was talking to Eric Nadel one day about that, and he pulled a book off his shelf and he flipped through the pages and he came to a part that was described a mathematical discovery called Gabriel's horn. It's a three-dimensional shape that's formed by the graph of x, y equals 1. One of the simplest equations there is. And if that graph is rotated around the vertical axis, it creates a shape like this. At infinity, if we use just mathematical terms, if this shape would approach vertical, and at infinity it would actually reach vertical. But at that point, it would be so small it would be nothing. And that drops down to horizontal. And the horizontal would keep approaching horizontal and not reach it until infinity. And at infinity, this would have created an enormous circle that would have enclosed everything. So it's a very clear physical representation of Baba's everything in the nothing. It's also a very clear picture of the Om point from Hinduism. And Christianity's angel Gabriel, and they called this, these were Christian scientists that discovered this shape, they called it Gabriel's horn, where the angel Gabriel blew creation into existence. And in the Quran, there's even a reference to the trumpet, which describes a path ascending from wideness to narrowness to the real alone. There's a poster on the left of our plaque that's got a better explanation for people who didn't get it the first time. I didn't get it the first time either. But it's a good explanation. Now, the base of this tower is made of stones from a quarry near Meherabad. It's in the hang on now. I want to describe the base of the tower. The design of the base of the tower is a master in servitude symbol, and it points directly to the samadhi. You'll be able to see that if you take a look at this model over here. You can see it. It's hard to get the whole picture of this being this master in servitude symbol, but if you see the model, you'll understand. The tower itself is made of marble from Mount Abu, a place where Baba spent a long time. It's 56 feet high and has a glass spire at the top that on sunny days, this looks like a good day, the glass spire will cast a rainbow spectrum on the base. The rainbow spectrum has just begun over here, and in a little while I hope we'll all get a chance to go and see it. Masaji and Chanji's grave markers that Padri had built are in the same position they were originally. They're a little higher because we had to build the plinth up, but that's exactly where Baba threw the flowers in and where Chanji's bedroll and Masaji are buried. And Baba's message that he gave at that time is carved on that marble plaque. I was always confident, probably, I felt we could build this tower, but I soon discovered that I did not have all the skill and knowledge to do it. But every step of the way, Baba would send someone who knew how and was there to pick up the load. Many of these people were Baba volunteers, but also many were just business people or factory owners that were unacquainted with Meher Baba, but somehow are willing to stop their projects and pick up and do small but important things for this tower. Baba's inspiration was going everywhere. It's miraculous how many people were so happy to be able to help, even though they may not have known who Baba was or what the significance of this tower was. For example, I thought in the beginning we could just carve the marble the same way we carved the stones. But I heard about a factory in Ahmedabad that had the latest computer-guided machinery, stone carving machinery. So we went up there, and sure enough, they could do this. They could simply plug in the formula and get an exact accurate shape and curve in 3 dimensions. This is quite a complicated thing because it's not only this way, it's this way. And but they could do it. However, the cost that they would charge was way over the budget that we had. But about a year later, I couldn't find any other alternative, and I knew we had to do it this way, so I went there again, and I asked Mr. Kiran Trivedi, who was the owner of this factory, if he could do it more cheaply. And it was all business the first visit. The second visit, he greeted me like an old friend. We hugged each other, and he said that he had decided that he must do this project, and it should be done in the very best possible way with the best marble that he had, and what could we afford to do it? I heard he was coming today. Is it possible? Mr. Trivedi, you did not come today, did you? No, I wish he would, but he's a very busy man. As you can see, the tower at the top gets very narrow. It's only 8 inches in diameter at one point. So I asked Mr. Vivek Apte, who I hope is here today. He's here, good. And so he, one of the finest structural engineers that we're very fortunate to have here in Nagar, designed a series of stainless steel pipes. The stainless steel is of a very special alloy. The wall thicknesses are huge. And of course we only needed relatively small amount. So where was I going to get them? There wasn't a manufacturer in the world who would do it for any price. In desperation, I got on the internet, found some small shop front in Mumbai and called them up. And his name was Harish Doshi, and he said, "Sir, I will make it a matter of honor to find these pipes for you." And he did. 3 months later, he found them. How, where, I have no idea. Another person that was very helpful on this was Mr. Pavan Soni, who once all the steel was here, we had to cut and fit and machine and all sorts of little things, and he was always ready to stop all his work in his factory and do these little jobs for us. The big jobs, after receiving the steel, which required casting stainless steel parts, argon gas shielded welding, all this custom fabricated stuff that, well, when I first came to Meherabad, there was no electricity. Where was I going to get argon gas shielded welding done? But Mr. Gopal Krishna of Supertech, which I hope he's here, was able to make it. If not, I hope he does to see this. He just took it up. He, with great enthusiasm, and welded these pipes together, made the base plates, made the parts that hold all these glass pieces together and so on. I mean, it's just miraculous how these people made it and were so willing to do this absolutely necessary work. I mean, there was no plan B that had to happen. And yet, here they were, and they made it happen. So, at this point, I want to talk to one of the really main guys that made it happen, and that's Mr. Vaibhav Joshi and his son Vikram. I've known Mr. Joshi since I first came here. It's been 44 years now. And he has done most of the buildings that I've designed for Meherabad. So his legacy at Meherabad is huge. He and his son's love for Meher Baba and their skill at construction and willingness to sacrifice their own time and money to get the best result possible is amazing. So I wanted to ask him to come. He's had some interesting things happen on this job. So both Vikram and, yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. It's a great honor to be here and to be a part of this project. We found ourselves very lucky to be a part of this project. Now, as you see, it's a very special and unique design that we have never done before. I think no one has done before. So, except the RCC part till the plinth, all other work above it, we have never done before. So we had many challenges to face. As you see, the bent stones, which has been carved by hand with the grinders and the chisels, which is done by our Rajasthani people, and under the supervision of Saurmal Mistri, did a great job. And next part is to assemble the marbles, which is a very tough part. So for this, we had a huge scaffolding, narrow and tall scaffolding, on which we attached one pulley to lift the marbles and slide it through the steel pipe, and which is attached by dry clipping. And our carpenters did a great job for installing this scaffolding. And this cradle piece, the top, the prism, it's very precious. So while removing the scaffolding, someone said, man, if you hit the prism or the marble, just jump off the scaffolding. Jokes apart, but it was that precious thing. So somehow we could manage without damaging anything, thanks to Baba. So yeah. So, and thanks to Ted, sir. I mean, I have never seen this type of dedication that Ted sir has put in, from the design to all the execution work. So big round of applause for Ted sir.
Yeah, Baba. About 10 years ago, when we were awarded this contract to construct this memorial tower, I went to Bauji to decide about the day for doing the groundbreaking ceremony. And Bauji said, do you think that you can do it better than Baba? So I didn't understand. He said that Baba has already done this groundbreaking and Bhumi Pujan and all these things. Way back in 1944, you don't have to do anything. Just go there, say Avatar Meher Baba ki jai, and start the work. So we did that one. So as Vikram told you, we had a lot of difficulties in getting these stones, then the carving and these things. But fortunately, every time we got Baba's help, directly, indirectly, and we got people over here to complete that work as per the specification. I'm very thankful to Ted Sahib and all the trustees for showing faith in us and making us the part of this project. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
We have? Okay, well, let's only take a second. Okay. So many people to thank, but they didn't do it, just like the people on this tower, they didn't do it to be thanked or recognized. But I do want to mention Emery and Susan Ayers and Nancy Marks, who gave me the confidence and the support to actually build it. Ty Provosty, who worked with the stones and the drawings and so on, was just essential. And Tim Garvin, who made the ceramic symbols. These people are not here today. but I like to want you to hear their names. Then we got our Meherabad team who is here today. Debbie told me not to talk. So, our team of Huey, Paul Morris, Jeff Lowe, Michael and Haiti, Saeed, Nadia Walensky, Bob Fredericks, Ward, David Fenster, who did a lot of work on the names, Peter, Nordeen, Steve Myro, and I'm sure I've left some people out. And our Meherabad worker staff, which were great. The staff that come every day. Every time we brought them over here, they were thrilled to work on it and did a great job. And our Bombay team of Bayram Irani, who managed to import all these impossible things from the U.S. and China. And Sam Patel, who was always there to help. So we're all most grateful to beloved Baba for this privilege. Thank you. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you so much, Ted. Now we're going to have a little focus on family ties. And first we'll hear from Amrit Irani, and then we will, well, I'll tell you about him in a minute. Here you go. Amrit.
Okay. Jai Baba. I know Ted and everybody else gave all the technical and difficulties and, time and cost and all that. But we are the fortunate one who receiving this beautiful memorial tower. And to me, as I've been asked to share a little bit my family ties, let's start with my family ties with Meher Baba. He's related to me. And then all beautiful Baba's family, and it was really surprising. Just a couple of days ago, a week ago, Peter Nordeen, he gave me so many beautiful names of connected to Baba's family and my father's side of the family, that their names are there. And one of the name is very special to me, which I never got connected because the person wasn't there when I came to the family. He was Dara's mother, Gulu, Adi Jr.'s first wife. So it was like a connecting to her today. So I thank Baba and thank all those people who brought this beautiful memorial tower for us, and so many other names, as been mentioned earlier, that Behram uncle, Saurabh's father, Rustam Saurabh's father, their mother Pareen auntie, and then fortunately my father is there too, Shatrughan Kumar, and one name which was really again lost to me way back was one of my brothers, Prashant Shatrughan Kumar. His name is there. So all these beautiful names. Thank you. And not only Behram and Jal, Baba's brother, but there are two beautiful couple of other names too. Freni, Baba's sister, her name is here too. And Baba's brother Jamshed, his name is here too. So few of these names weren't mentioned earlier, so maybe when you have time you can look around that Baba's own family is earlier Shridar in his talk said is something beautiful given to us. I mean, it's not like a question why we're not there or any type of pride that our family is there, but there's no pride and there's this feeling great that my father is there, my brother is there, but I do feel, and I feel like I represent quite many of you whose families' names are there, that it came from Baba. So it is special. And we are fortunate to be part of this thing, and it's something unbelievable in our beautiful dry place apart from our samadhi. Here, now we have another beautiful present to visit. Thank you.
Amrit, that was beautiful. And now I would like to introduce to all of you a witness, a living witness to 1944, when Baba was there for Masaji, and days later when the dedication and foundation was dedicated. We have Digumber Gadakhar, who will share a few words about his memories as a little boy. Digumber.
Jai Baba. I am grateful to beloved Baba for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you. And this event of the Memorial Tower happened 75 years back. ये जब यहाँ पर स्मारक स्तंभ का निर्माण 75 साल पहले हुआ था, जिस वक्त बाबा की कृपा से ही मैं यहाँ पर उपस्थित था। हमारा पूरा परिवार यहाँ पर आया करता था उन ज़माने में। During the 1940s, our entire family would be invited by Baba to visit Meherabad. My father and myself would stay down the hill, being males, and my mother and my sister Nalini would stay up the hill along with Mehra and other women mandali. So those were the days in the 1940s, and during one of those visits to Meherabad, this Memorial Tower foundation was laid down, and I remember Masaji's funeral also. And then I was a very small boy at that time. I was 8 years old, and we were studying in Solapur, and I was studying in second standard. In the 1940s, we would visit as per Baba's wish. And I still remember the splendor of Baba's beauty. Baba का जो सौंदर्य था, उसकी आभा अभी भी मेरे हृदय में अंकित की गई है। और बाबा वहाँ पर रहते थे टीले पर अपने महिला मंडलियों के साथ, और हम लोग यहाँ नीचे रहते थे, मेरे पिताजी और दूसरे पुरुष वर्ग। यहाँ पर मेन मंडली जहाँ पर धर्मशाला है, जो ओल्ड स्ट्रक्चर, और हर सुबह बाबा वहाँ से नीचे आया करते थे। बाबा के साथ मनी और या मेहरा बाबा के ऊपर छाता पकड़ के ले आया करती थी वहाँ से ऊपर से, और ये रेलवे ट्रैक के पास इधर से मेन मंडली की ओर से विष्णु मास्टर या पादरी छाता लेके यहाँ पर आया करते थे, और बाबा रेलवे ट्रैक क्रॉस किया करते थे। इट वॉज लाइक हैंडिंग ओवर टेकिंग ओवर सेरेमनी। तो वो भी मुझे अभी याद है। और बाबा का रूप इतना सुंदर था, और उनका हमारे प्रति, सभी प्रेमियों के प्रति इतना प्रेम वो दिया करते थे कि हमारी नज़र बाबा के चेहरे पर से हटती नहीं थी। और ये सब स्मृतियाँ मेरे हृदय पर अंकित है। और बाबा आया करते थे वहाँ पर रेलवे ट्रैक से, फिर वहाँ यहाँ पर मेन मंडली के पास, और मेहराबाद में रहा करते थे पूरा दिन। और जब सूरज ढलने को लगता था 4:30-5 बजे तक, तो यहाँ पर रहा करते थे। फिर बाबा यहाँ से रेलवे ट्रैक पे जाया करते थे, और फिर विष्णु मास्टर या पादरी उनके ऊपर छाता पकड़ते थे, और फिर वहाँ से ऊपर से मेहरा और मनी आंटी आया करती थी छाता लेके, और वहाँ पर फिर वो शाम को हैंडिंग ओवर टेकिंग ओवर हो जाता था। तो वो सब स्मृतियाँ है इस हृदय पर अंकित, और बाबा की ही असीम अनुकंपा है, जिसकी वजह से ये मुझे अवसर बाबा ने प्रदान किया। और यही मैं आपके साथ बांटना चाहता था। और जब यहाँ पर ये मासा जी की उनकी यहाँ पर समाधि है, उस पर उनका कॉफिन रखा गया था, बाबा ने फूल चढ़ाए थे। उस वक्त भी गाड़ीकर परिवार यहाँ पर उपस्थित था। मेरे पिताजी रामचंद्र, मेरे माताजी गुणाताई, मेरी बड़ी बहन नलिनी, और स्वयं जो आपके सामने खड़ा है। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Now, why don't you just stay right here? Ted, could I have a check with you? Where's Ted? Oh, I do. Okay. Well, I'm watching. Okay. Thank you so much to all these wonderful speakers who have shared with us today. And now there is a little more to our morning, which is going to be just amazing. What we are going to do right now is ask the people that are designated to offer that garland for you people to please come up here. It's Gadakhar, Dara, Sorab, and a few others. And they are going to offer on behalf of the worldwide Baba family, present, past, and future, to offer a giant garland on the shrines of Masaji and Chanji. They will offer the garland, and Carla is going to help you. Just follow; she will help you. And what we could do, Ted, should we do what I was saying before to see the trumpet, or do you want to just finish everything here? Or did you want us to do the move? Okay, Ted is going to check the rainbow that appears around this time and see if we're going to move for that. But right now, let us join them in saying Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. What?
Wait, they're bringing somebody else up. Wait,
You know, Ali is going to join them in garlanding as well. Ali was also a little boy in 1944. He wasn't here that time, but he was definitely around, and he has relatives also that are named on this beautiful tower. Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Jai Baba. Can we stay here? Or it'll be starting? Okay. What I'd like to do is, let's go for it, Ted. Ted would like us, and I think it's a great idea, to actually encircle on the upper half up there, encircle the beautiful memorial tower as we sing 7 names of God right now. Then we're going to have Ustad Dhanyawad followed by the Arti. So if you would like to remain seated, you can, but the idea is that the rainbow is going to be joining us. So please give each other a little space to view that rainbow. Right now, let us sing the 7 names of God as you reorient yourself to a different place around the tower. Let's make a garland of Baba lovers around the tower. Okay. Jai Baba. And let us please share with others the viewing area. If you care to see the rainbow, it is over there towards the tall guy over there. What direction is this? The railroad tracks. Yeah, that's it. Let us join Ted and others in singing Ustad Dhanyawad, after which we go directly into the Arti And guess what? After that, we have party. We'll have refreshments in the farm. There is one restroom over there. Otherwise, you have the MPC. There are displays to look at, the beautiful model. So please enjoy this beautiful tower and this most auspicious day. Baba, thank you. now we have Bujabe. And before that, I wanted to make one last announcement that we have hundreds of roses for us all to offer roses today. So as Baba did in 1944, you too are welcome to go fill in that large, gorgeous, heart-shaped garland on Chanji and Masaji's place where Baba himself placed flowers. So after the arti, you are welcome to do that. And then, of course, we have refreshments. Okay, here we go. Bujabe, Meher Baba, thank you so much.
Bujabe,
Thank you, Baba. Let's have a moment of silence. It just feels like it just happened. So let's just have a moment of silence, which Baba said this would be a silent proclamation. Beloved Avatar Meher Baba
की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Jai Baba. Thank you. Now the enjoyment of the rest of our morning, and also please no food or tea on this beautiful platform. Enjoy. Jai Baba.